Yes, and it's so exciting that your work's here with these traditional pieces. I mean, it's really amazing.
I always liked this bull. I always liked the elegance of the neck on the crane. It's so interesting how 1,000 years after this is done, it still really resonates.
They used yucca leaf brushes and then natural pigments
They did.
to create it.
They did, yes.
So me and Diego Romero met when we were undergraduate students at Otis Art Institute in LA. And we hit it off right away. We became close friends, and then we became lab techs together. And there was just such an exciting vibe coming out of that studio. A lot of it was based on teachings of Ralph Becerra. Ralph had probably the most technical department at Otis. And Diego and myself learned this high level of technical skill. And this piece was part of that, where everybody just started making super large work.
I'll tell you this right now, Robert, I don't think there's too many of those around anymore.
This was built, I believe, for Ralph Becerra back
That's
in
right.
the day. And it was slab built, not coil built.
Slab coiled. Basically, it's coiling, but instead of using a round coil, you flatten the coil out and it extends it. So you probably get twice as much lift out of it. This is earthenware. It's kind of a Otis Parsons interpretation of a Pueblo pot.
Now for the colors. You know, everybody says, oh, what underglazes what commercial underglazes were you using? I said, no, he wasn't.
I remember Ralph never let us go to the store and buy glazes and underglazes. If we wanted a color, Ralph put us into the mixing room and we would use a little bit of cobalt and a little bit of whatever it was, iron oxide or whatever. But I remember we mixed all our own stuff with Ralph. Oh, you know, this one always stands out, Robert. Ralph loved this one, and I remember instantly he gravitated to this piece, and you can see how Becerra-esque it is.
Well, it's based off, I assume, the flower.
Yeah, I agree that these are interpretations of flowers, and this is a technique called offset quadranty, in which the pot is divided into 4 quadrants. And that's the basis for the start of the design. It's chopped into quarters, and then from there into 8s, and then lots of times into 12s after that. And these people obviously didn't have rulers or pencils or photographs to work from, so they were pretty much freehanding this. And that's the method they used, was to break it into quarters. And it's offset, so it's, even though it's
I had always wanted to go to UCLA, to a bigger school, and do my graduate studies with Adrian Sachs. Adrian had a very exciting conceptual department. Diego at the time never thought of really going to grad school. And so I had convinced him. And that's really how the change from this style to Diego's new work happened. It came out of that movement from Adrian to sort of explore your conceptual side as well as your heritage. So to reach in, find something that was important to you. So he's really incorporating that passion in his work.
Me and Robert were so privileged to study under these potters, artists, just these incredible teachers. And
They were great times.
They were great times. They really were.
When he finished UCLA, he was on that super track, you could just see it. And we actually had a big argument before he left because he desperately wanted to go back to the reservation. And I fought him tooth and nail not to, and there was a lot of pressure with things that were happening here and opportunities, but he really felt that calling that he needed to go sort of home again. He walks that line between both worlds. I'm so honored to still have this piece. Was there ever a title put on this? Everybody asked me about, is there a title for this piece? And I'm like, I just call it, California Influence, but there really...
I don't think there really
know.
was a title. A big pot, how about